We're good?
Yep.
All right, sounds good. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the November 19th, 2020 meeting of the CB6 Business Affairs and Street Activities Committee. My name is Claire Brennan, and I am the chair of this committee. The meeting is called to order at 6:34 p.m. Tonight, we are joined by Assistant District Manager Cody Osterman. Members of the public, you can raise any questions or comments that you have through the Q&A section feature of Zoom. If there is time following the committee's discussion, we will field questions from the public. We need a volunteer to draft the minutes of tonight's meeting. Members, if you can take minutes tonight, please raise your hand on Zoom.
All right, I'll volunteer.
Anton, thank you very much. And I think I'll send out like a doodle poll or something for folks to sign up in advance moving forward. So we have that all settled before the meeting starts. Now, Cody, do you mind taking roll?
Sure.
Thank you so much.
All right, committee members, I will call your name. Please unmute yourself. And when your name is called, please say present. Kyle Athide.
Present.
Matt Bondi. Claire Brennan.
Here.
Dan Devine.
Present.
Jeannie D'Onofrio. Charles Fernandez.
Present.
Paige Judge.
Present.
You said Yusef and John aren't coming. Anton Malner.
Present.
Kevin O'Keefe.
Present.
Frank Scala. Susan Steinberg. All right, that's 8 members present, which is a quorum.
Oh, wait,
Here.
did you,
Oh, Jeannie's.
Jeannie.
I don't think, Cody, you called me either. This is Seema.
Oh, because I had marked you and you had said that you were stepping aside. Sorry.
Okay.
Seema Shaw.
I'm here.
Is back.
You're at 9 members now.
Wonderful. Thank you, Cody. The agenda for tonight's meeting was distributed ahead of time by the board office and appears on the screen before you. If there's no objection, we will adopt the agenda as stated. Members of the committee, if you object to adopting the agenda, you may raise your hand through Zoom. Okay. Seeing no objections, the agenda for tonight's meeting is adopted. The minutes from the August 27th and September 24th committee meetings were distributed ahead of time. If there's no objection, we will adopt these 2 sets of minutes as drafted. Members of the committee, if you object to adopting these 2 sets of minutes, you may raise your hand through Zoom now. Okay. Seeing no objections, these 2 sets of minutes are adopted, excuse me, and will soon be available on the CB6 website. Thank you, Cody. So in order to conduct an efficient meeting, let's observe a few ground rules. Not new to us, but I'll still repeat them. No one may speak until granted the floor. Committee members, if you have a question about committee business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand through Zoom. If you click the participants icon, the participants panel should appear and you should find the raise hand function there. If you still have technical difficulty, you may click the chat icon and relay your difficulty. This is important. The chat function should not be used for committee business or questions about agenda topics. All such remarks should be made on the record by raising your hand through Zoom. Chat should only be used to alert us of any technical difficulties you are having or state in writing information, like an email address that was already stated out loud on the record during the meeting. When a committee member is given the floor to speak, I will identify you and you can unmute yourself so that you can speak. We are required by executive order to create a verbatim transcript of the meeting. So please keep your questions and comments succinct and germane to the discussion. Now we will move to committee business. Item number 1 is a new application for an on-premise liquor license for Dozen Bagels Incorporated, doing business as Kips Bagel Cafe at 429 3rd Avenue. I believe Michael Kelly is joining us.
I'm Robert Callahan. I work at Mike Kelly's office.
Okay, thanks, Robert. Sorry about that.
With me,
Sorry, may I know your name again, please?
Robert Callahan, Callahan.
A-H-A-N.
Also joining us is Lana, who is the general manager.
And your name is? Lana?
Lana, unmute yourself on the participants panel.
Got it. Sorry. Lana, Lana.
Your last name?
Eliyahu, Eliyahu.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Okay, shall I proceed?
Yeah, so if you could just begin by walking us through the application that you all submitted.
Okay, so this is an on-premise liquor license application for Dozen Bagels Co. Inc. Kips Bagel Cafe. We're located at 429 3rd Avenue on the corner of East 30th Street. We've been in operation for over 15 years at that location. Due to the current times, we're changing our business model. We're enhancing it a bit. So instead of just a bagel store, we want more of a cafe type atmosphere. So we're moving towards the cafe feeling and not so much as a bagel store. We're going to be upgrading our menu to offer salads, sandwiches, pastas, and some light dishes with a Mediterranean flair. We're still going to be doing the breakfast service. You'll still be able to get your bagels and everything that you've gotten before, but we're going to offer some different things as well. Have more of a sit-down type atmosphere. The place itself is not going to change much physically. Currently, we have 5 tables with 32 seats. Our hours of operations are 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. So it's not going to be a late night spot. We just want to offer the customers an opportunity to have a cocktail with this new menu. We have background music from an iPad or an iPod, but really you shouldn't notice a lot of changes. If you have any questions, we'd be glad to answer them.
Thank you. So you said that you're planning on closing at 11 p.m. every night, or is that just on the weekends?
Every night.
Every night, yeah. That's been our hours, and I don't think the owner really wants to change it up that much. He's been doing it for 15 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then this is a residential building that you all would be operating in?
Yes.
Yes.
And I read through your application, obviously, and it said that you all will be providing proof of support from some of the tenants in the building.
Did my office send you anything?
Not to my knowledge. I don't know, Cody.
We received the questionnaire as submitted.
Mm-hmm. But no kind of like affirmation from any of the tenants in the building.
I'm looking through the file that I have with me. I don't know if my office sent you.
Looks strange with the background.
Yeah, I know. It's up with the background. We have some signatures.
You could just explain it. What is that?
We have.
I see that here.
It's a paper that says, "We, the residents and neighbors of the above restaurant, support in its application for an on-premise liquor license. The hours of operation will be 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 days a week." And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 signatures. from 427, 427, 425, 425 Third Avenue. So that's the big building above us and right next door. 200 East 30th Street, which is right around the corner. 154 East 29th, another 200 East 30th Street, which, Lana, the address that's above us is 200 East 30th Street.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 from upstairs, from both sides. So we do have some signatures of support. I'll fax those to your office or I'll email them to anyone that needs them.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Jeannie, you had a question?
Yes, hi. Just a quick question. I'm just looking at the picture of the restaurant from the street level. There's a lot of sidewalk space. Are they using it at all for outdoor cafe? Because it's on the corner, so there's a lot of interesting real estate to work off of.
Lana, are you guys doing the outdoor seating right now?
I'll answer that, sure. We applied for the outdoor license. We are going to put tables and chairs out there on the sidewalk. And yes, we will. We will utilize the space.
Okay, that's all. Just wondering if you're going to do that, because it looks like great real estate to do that, to help out your business.
Right, thank you. And it will help definitely to bring more patrons in, being that there's right now 25% limit inside the store. So at least patrons will have the availability to sit outside in the fresh air.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
And so do you have a plan for that setup? Is it just on the sidewalk, or are you planning on using the roadway?
Well, right now, the tables have to be against the building line.
Mm-hmm.
So the most you could do is one table every 6 feet
Right.
along the building line. The streets are available. I actually have to just check the parking regulations, because depending on what the sign says, you can use them sometimes and not others. But the winter is coming, and the city just added to the regulations on the roadway seating. So there's a lot of changes. Everything has to be filled with sand or water. They have to add things. So right now, I'm not sure if they're going to be using the roadway, but definitely looking to use the sidewalk.
Thank you. Does anyone else on the committee have any questions? Okay. Hearing none. Are there any questions from the public? Not that I see. Okay. Does anyone on the committee want to make a motion?
Motion to accept.
I'll second that.
Okay. So now we will take a vote approving the application for a dozen bagels or Bagel Cafe by roll call. So when Cody says your name for your vote, please unmute yourself and answer nay, yay, or abstain, or not entitled, please.
Kyle
In favor?
Matt Bondi still isn't joined. Claire Brennan,
In favor.
Dan Devine,
In favor.
Jeannie D'Onofrio,
In favor.
Charles Fernandez,
In favor.
Paige Judge,
In favor.
Tom Mulliner,
In favor.
Kevin O'Keefe,
In favor?
Seema Shah.
In favor.
All right, that's 9 in favor, none against, none abstaining, none not entitled. That motion
Wonderful.
passes.
Great. So Cody from the office will be following up with you all. Thanks for taking the time out to explain a little bit more.
Thank you very much. Claire,
Thank you very much.
Should I
Thank you.
email this list to the office in the morning?
Yeah, if you don't mind, that would be helpful
Okay.
for our
I'll
records,
do that. All right, I'll be in about 8:30, so I'll make sure it gets done.
whenever you can.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much. Okay,
Have a
thank
great
you
night.
both. Take care. and
Thank
good
you,
luck.
everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is a new wine, beer, and cider liquor license for a restaurant known as Hunan Village at 339 Lexington Avenue. Do we have any, is this Ladon coming to speak on this topic? I believe. If you don't mind just muting yourself, stating your name, your relationship to the application, and then you could just begin by walking us through your application.
Yes, hi. I'm the representative and the applicant, Mr. Lei. He's also here.
Okay. Is he here as a participant? Oh, is that?
I can promote him 1 second.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't get that second name, please.
Hi.
Jim Lee
Can you hear me?
and
Hello.
Leighton. And who else?
It's Ladon and Lee. Lei?
Lei.
Yeah, late.
Okay, so if you all just can go through your application. Lei, is that it? Lei. And what is, you're the owner?
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry,
so-
sorry. Can you hear me better now? Sorry.
Yeah, we can
Yes,
hear you.
thank you.
Mhm. Thank you so much. Sorry about that.
Hi. It's a Chinese restaurant now. We're serving like Hunan cuisine.
Mhm.
It's the same type of restaurant they were here before, the Hunan Manor,
Mm.
located at 339 Lexington Avenue at 39th Street.
Mhm.
Currently we're just doing most likely takeout though. Yeah, we have few tables, 3 tables in first floor and 2 tables in second floor though.
And so you're just looking to have beer, wine, and cider, correct?
Yes.
Mhm. Do you have any outdoor dining planned?
No, nope,
No.
not currently though. Yep.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I went through your application and it seems fine to me. So I wonder if any of the committee members have specific questions for this establishment. Paige,
Yes, are you handicapped accessible?
great question.
I believe this. Handicap is able to get in there.
Do you have stairs?
Sorry.
How do
Can
you
do one
get
more
to the
time?
second? How do you get to the second floor? Is it stairs or is
Stairs
there-
though. For the second floor, stairs though.
But the first floor is just straight walking in, right?
Yes, yes. No stairs on the first floor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions on the committee?
Dan has his hand raised, Claire.
Oh, yep, Dan, sorry about that.
Yeah, sure. I might have missed this, but what are your hours of operation?
The current hours, weekday is 11 to 10. A weekend is 12 to 10.
Okay. And is that going to be the same hours of operation, post-COVID restrictions?
Yes.
Okay.
Same hours though.
That's great. Does anyone else from the committee have, excuse me, any other questions? No. Seeing none, I will open it up to members of the public. If anyone from the public has a question, you can raise your hand now. Okay, seeing none, does anyone want to make a motion here?
I'd like to make a motion of no objection.
Seconded.
Kyle makes a motion of no objection, and Kevin, thank you for seconding. We will now we will now take a vote of no objection to the application for Chen Village.
Kyle Athide,
In favor?
Claire Brennan,
In favor.
Dan Devine,
In favor.
Jeannie D'Onofrio,
Favor.
Charles Fernandez,
In favor.
Paige Judge,
In favor.
Anton Mulliner,
Favor.
Kevin O'Keefe,
In favor?
Seema Shah.
In favor.
Again, 9 in favor, no opposed, no abstained, no not entitled.
Wonderful. So Cody will be following up with you all, but thanks again for taking the time out to answer our questions, and good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Claire. Thank you.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Have a good one. All right. Bye.
Thank you. Okay, great. That is all of the licenses that we have for today. So thank you all for your questions. Now, I'm not sure if you all remember from our last full board meeting, Daniela Schill came and offered some information about State Senate Bill S720A, which is a bill that would establish a statewide restaurant meals program as part of the Supplemental Nutrition and Assistance Program. Daniela, I will let you take it away now if you're ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me come by. I didn't prepare a presentation. I wasn't sure if I had to, but just to speak a little bit about the program. So the Restaurant Meals Program is an optional provision under the federal SNAP regulations. And if states decide to enact a Restaurant Meals Program within the state, that allows for elderly, disabled, and homeless SNAP recipients to use their benefits, their existing benefits, at participating restaurants. So essentially, this just increases the amount of options that people who already have many vulnerabilities can have when it comes to using their benefits. And especially in the time of the pandemic, this can provide a lot of help to restaurants as well, because they can have an added source of revenue from different, types of people. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Please let me know.
Great. Thanks, Daniela.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense to me, and it sounds like a great idea. I'm just wondering what its status, like in Senate is. Is it who's sponsoring it? Or does it have signature?
Yeah, it's currently in the Social Services Committee in the State Senate. So I figured that having some support from local community boards could really push the issue forward and, provide some support for it.
Mm-hmm. And I remember you saying that you lived in our district, right?
Yeah, so I've lived here for about 4 years. I attended Hunter College, so I've been living in Kips Bay for quite a while.
It's amazing. I also was a Hunter College student, so.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah. In common, good people at Hunter for sure. But I'm wondering, I just asked because I want to know if you have talked to any other boards, or are you starting on your home base?
Yeah, I just started here. I haven't spoken to anybody else. Just figured I'd start with, the people I know best.
Yep, that makes sense to me. Well, thanks again for coming, and I'm going to let the committee ask you some questions as well. I see some hands up. Let's start with Kevin, if you don't mind. Kevin.
Yeah, hi, Danielle. What was the opposition to prepared foods before this? It sounds good, but what was the opposition? I don't know why wasn't it part of the program before? Was it?
Yeah, it's a very obscure provision. For the most part, I think it was done for nutritional reasons, where there was this idea from federal legislators that if you give people who need SNAP more options when it comes to prepared foods, they'll just use it on fast food. And obviously that's not a very good reason to prevent people from using their benefits the way that they see fit. And especially if we have more community and local restaurant participation, it doesn't have to be just, using your benefits at fast food places.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good question. Next up is Dan.
Danielle, a couple of questions. First, how did you become involved or interested in this?
Yeah, so I'm currently a graduate student at the CUNY Grad Center. So we've been focusing all semester on advocacy efforts. And we wanted specifically to focus on food advocacy because food insecurity is so high currently due to the pandemic. And this was an issue that I saw was coming up in the state Senate. And I figured this is something that can really make a very big difference in people's lives. So if this one passage of the legislation can, make such a big difference across the state, I figured it was something that was worth my time.
Got it. And then following up on that, you mentioned that this would be reserved for, I guess, the elderly, disabled, and homeless. Can you give me kind of a little better sense of why it was determined for those groups? And then out of the total amount of people receiving SNAP benefits, what do those groups represent?
Yeah, so I don't really know the exact history of why these groups were chosen. I think it was due to vulnerabilities, like specifically with homeless people, it can be difficult to have the space to prepare food or store food for preparation. With elderly and disabled people receiving SNAP, it can be difficult to, prepare food for yourself without the assistance of others. So I think that was a specific provision why it was targeted towards these populations. Ideally, if I were, drafting policy, I would want it to apply to everyone receiving SNAP, but, one step at a time, I think is better than nothing. And as for our specific district, I don't have the numbers for Community Board 6. They were kind of difficult to find, but in State Senate District 27, which is encompassing most of our community board, around 22% of the population is over the age of 60, 29% is under the poverty level. So quite a few people would be eligible. And if I had better data, I would let you know, but I think quite a few thousands of people would be impacted in our district alone.
Got it. And then I guess just the last question is that, as I understand, SNAP is a federal program, and I forget what the acronym is for New York State, but can you go into a little bit more detail about the difference and why, and if it's a federal program, how and why New York State is able to make specific alterations to the benefits?
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually a very good question. So from what I understand about the history, in the 1970s, this provision for the restaurant meals program was given on the federal level, but it was optional for states to implement it. And for quite a few decades, no one did anything. And then in California, the CalFresh program decided to participate in restaurant meals, and it had a huge success rate. And this was in the early 2000s, and they just recently became a statewide program rather than county specific within the California district. Rhode Island followed, Arizona followed. I think there's a pilot program now in Illinois and Maryland. So slowly but surely, many more states are taking on the optional restaurant meals program because it's showing benefits. And I think it just didn't really become a federal thing because it was optional rather than mandatory.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Jeannie, did you get your question answered?
Actually, I do have a question. So I know it's in committee right now. Danielle, thank you for coming, first of all, this evening.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah, I know it's in committee now, but when is it expected to go on the floor? I'm looking at the calendar right now online, like the the bill. And that's number one. And number two, what can we do to be of help to you?
I'm not sure when it's going to vote. Honestly, I am still in the process of advocating for it, so I'm not exactly certain when it's actually going to be heard. I think right now it's just about gathering support. And from the community board, a letter of support or something that shows that the force of the people is behind this type of legislation could definitely be some help. I'm planning on meeting with legislators personally in the coming weeks. So if you have any testimonies or anything that you would like me to pass along to them when I meet with them, that would also be a great help. So just let me know.
Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
I'm sorry, Daniela. Hi, this is Seema again, just echoing Jeannie's, thanks for joining us. Do you, you might have said this, I'm sorry if I missed it. Do you know who sponsored the bill? And who
I believe, I have to look it up. I believe it was in the Social Services Committee. It had, I think, 7 co-sponsors. I have to look up the specific name.
Okay, it's okay. I can look it up too.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
I think State Senator Roxanne.
Yeah, Prasad.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
I don't see any other questions from the committee. And I also don't see any from any attendees, but I'm going to give you all a second to raise your hand if there are any questions. Okay, seeing none.
Sorry, I do have a question. So what's the timeline of getting something to you, Daniela, from us, from the community board?
Maybe within like after Thanksgiving, within 2 weeks, if that would be possible, like just some kind of letter of support, or even by middle December. Really depends on your time. I don't want to put any unnecessary pressure on all of you. I understand how busy everyone is.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So typically how things work, should we decide to support your efforts, we'll draft some sort of a resolution within this committee. Mm-hmm. And then moving forward, our full board meeting, again, we went to the last one, but the next one is early December. So the board would vote on the resolution there, and then that would be kind of your official letter of approval from us that you could.
Perfect. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
But before that happens, I wonder if anyone wants to make a motion on the committee.
I'd like to make a motion of support.
Okay, Kyle makes a motion.
Second.
Jeannie will second that. Okay. And now we'll vote together again on supporting this bill.
Right. Kyle Flagg.
In favor.
Claire Brennan.
In favor.
Dan Devine.
In favor.
Jeannie D'Onofrio.
In favor.
Charles Fernandez.
In favor.
Paige Judge.
In favor.
Anton Malner.
In favor.
Kevin O'Keefe.
In favor.
Seema Shah.
In favor.
All right, that's also 9 in favor, none opposed, no abstained, no not entitled.
Thank you all so much.
Thanks for joining us, Daniela.
Absolutely.
I'm wondering if anyone on the committee wants to write this resolution.
I'll write it.
Jeannie, appreciate it, and I can help if you need it.
Perfect. Thank you, Claire.
This sounds really great and necessary. So that is all on our agenda. I'll move to my report, which will be brief. First of all, I just want to thank you all for welcoming me as chair. I'm honored to serve in this role, and I really appreciate your patience with me just getting to know BASA a little bit more and my efforts to become more familiar with the process and how everything goes. But I previously was in transportation and am in housing as well. So a lot of the issues and kind of ways things go mimic each other from like transportation and here. On a personal level, I actually work for the Department of Transportation and we're in charge of open streets. So I've done a little bit of work on that, but here I'm just a citizen leading the committee. But speaking of open streets, Anton and I were talking earlier this week about, what we can do and work on as a committee, and just thinking ahead into the winter and the status of open streets in general. Our city is like really fragile right now, as we all know, and no one knows what the future brings. But I think that obviously we are committed to supporting these businesses and want them to stay open as much as possible safely. So, thinking about outdoor dining in general and the, potential use of heat lamps or additional kind of furniture on the streets. Anton and I were wondering if you all could kind of take this next month to look around your neighborhoods and the establishments that are by you and kind of just note down some observations. So next month we can kind of have a discussion on open dining. It's ever changing for sure. So what is today might not be tomorrow, but I think that certainly into December, hopefully we have a better idea of what the winter brings. So we can kind of talk about maybe some restaurants that are doing it really well and are organized, and if there's any out there that, where the sidewalk's blocked or there are some concerning conditions, we can kind of walk through that and just share thoughts and ideas. But that's really it from me. Again, really excited to be here and work with you all moving forward. Does anyone have any old or new business to discuss? You can raise your hand now. And Kyle.
Hey everybody, so my new business is that I'm old business. I just want to, first of all, congratulate Claire on a very well-run first meeting for BASA. The only feedback I have is that now that you ran this meeting so quickly, that is the expectation for the committee members going forward. So you've dug yourself in a hole. No, I'm just kidding. I just want to thank everybody on this committee. It's been a real pleasure to serve as your chair for the past several years. We've put together a really dynamic committee that's been on the forefront of a lot of these issues, which has been shown through this whole pandemic that we were leading a lot of the discussion on economic recovery, on the storefronts, of course, outdoor dining in partnership with transportation. So it's just been really wonderful to be part of that. And I am sad to be leaving the committee meetings, but of course I won't be too far away as the chair. Just keep up the great work, and I'm going to miss you all in our Thursday night meetings. It really has been wonderful. And I'm glad that we were able to end on such a wonderful meeting. So just wanted to thank everybody, the committee members, and keep up the great work. And I'm so proud of everyone that everyone is in other leadership positions on the board as well, which I think is just a testament to all of the great work that you do on this committee. So thank you, everybody, and keep up.
Hey, Kyle, thanks for showing me the ropes. It's been a pleasure being with you this past almost 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I have big shoes to fill.
And
sure.
Claire, it's going to be great working with you. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I see Kevin's hand up next. Oh, but you have to unmute yourself.
Now I could talk. I'll echo what was said about Kyle and Claire. I just want to make sure, is 36th Street between 1st and 2nd the open street? Is that something that can tuck into discussions on BASA? Because that's being looked at, by parks and looking at by transportation. But, all the more involvement, cross-sectional help we can get to address that would be wonderful.
Yeah, I agree. I think we can talk about that in the conversation that we're going to have next month for sure.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks. No problem. Okay, I don't see any other hands from our committee, but I wonder if any members of the public want to bring anything up or ask a question. Okay, seeing none, I am going to ask for a motion to adjourn. I believe this is the shortest CB6 meeting I have ever attended. So
Motion to adjourn. I'll make it my last thing.
Kyle, your final moment. This doesn't require a second. So if there are no objections here, we will adjourn the meeting.
Thanks, Claire. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.